I appreciate you for being here, bro.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Streetlight Conversations. So what this is obviously we're in the gallery for my latest exhibition, When the Streetlights Flicker. And I just want to have conversations with artists, in the local Cleveland area that I have a relationship with, that I respect, and would just love to kind of pick their brain. So you had an opportunity to come out on opening night and check out the work. And this is not about me, it's not about my work, it's really about, how this exhibition and kind of maybe what inspired me. I'm interested in knowing more about, other artists' journeys and their stories. So for you, growing up as a kid, what did it mean when the street lights came on in your neighborhood?
For me, I mean, the street lights, I feel like for most people was the same thing. It's time to go home. Or get close to home. So for us, neighborhood we grew up in, I didn't actually have to be in the house when the street lights came on. The townhomes that we lived in, we had like a wide open parking lot that was right in the middle of like the townhomes and stuff. So, and then we had a big field and park that was behind the townhomes. So
Gotcha.
and they all had patios. So like, long as I was able to be seen essentially from the door, the windows,
You was good.
we was good. At some point, at the point that became a thing for me, because I wasn't always really even allowed outside that long until I was a little older.
Gotcha.
I had to be out with my brother, and if he wanted to go somewhere, I pretty much had to go in the house with mom. So
I know the feeling, man.
yeah.
I definitely know the feeling. Yeah, so for me, we share some kind of, similar sentiments. Like growing up as a kid, I kind of got like two different memories of childhood. I would say my formidable years really from, time you kind of start recollecting stuff, 5, maybe up to like 9 or 10. Some of these places that you see like that, corner store over there. I spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house, which was kind of like she was definitely the matriarch of, that side of the family being my father's side. And an aunt that I was really close to lived on the second floor. And why I said we relate there, at those years, like it was really like, don't really leave the porch, or they had a playground across the street. I was able to go there, but almost the same thing, like got to be in eye line. Because I didn't actually, live in that community. I just spent a lot of time there. I would spend practically whole summers. Most of the time, weekends, I was down there, but that wasn't where I went to school. I didn't have a ton of, friends down there. Then I would say it kind of shifted, to those years from maybe 10 to probably before you start actually working and things like that, 15. I got more memories where I actually grew up, in the summer. In that instance, it was, be home before the street lights come on, probably as a younger boy per se.
Yeah.
But, and it's me all around the whole community. Like, I could be 3-4 miles away, on my bike. And it never seemed like you was really traveling that far when you are.
Yeah.
But once you kind of understand like what miles are, I'm in a whole nother community, the next one over. But, my mom knew where I was at. We're going to try this pool today. So those memories, man. But let me ask you, like, what memories from childhood would you say you find yourself constantly trying to maybe like hold on to, or how do those memories kind of play or reflect in your work?
So memories that I hold on to, I don't know. I really hold on to everything. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I try to like recreate essentially my childhood every chance that I get, whether it's in my work or in my personal life. How I raise my kids. I hear a lot of people say the kids don't want to be outside, don't like going outside. They don't do this, they do that. Like, my kids go outside barefoot. Like, we play ball in the driveway. Like, you ride bikes through the neighborhood and stuff. Like, I still try to essentially recreate what we did. And then like, my son, even being a young adult at 19 years old, is still, still walk to go hoop and walk to the football field to hang with the homies on the field. And he still ride the bike around the neighborhood every now and again, or we'll ride the bike to go get ice cream and stuff. So my childhood memories of like just being in the neighborhood and being around friends and family and trying to make new friends when I'm at granny house and stuff, or things like that. Me doing all of that shapes how I create and what I create, because my whole focus is essentially storytelling. I need to express, as an expression artist, I need to express myself, right? And in expressing myself, I'm telling what I've been through and also kind of the life that I'm living now, but and just so happen I'm trying to recreate that stuff a lot of times. So I tell that story like in just about every piece, some way, shape, or form. I dip into my memory bank and pull something out every piece.
That's amazing, man. We definitely got so much overlap there. Being fathers and exactly what you said, trying to give them any bit and piece of my childhood where I can, where it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I find so much, joy in that, seeing them do things that I did. For me, it's also trying to, expose them to more stuff that, I wasn't doing at the time. But no, that's definitely relatable there. And pretty much what all of this was inspired by, man. It was like, dealing with, family loss and like childhood home that I'm referring to is in my grandmother's house, no longer standing, being torn down some years back. So really just trying to hold on to, all of those memories. And I felt like so many people could definitely, relate to that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you again, since you have seen the work, this is not your first time, actually seeing it and being in the gallery. What was a piece that, that spoke to you that, or even really since being an artist, more than spoke to you, like that inspired you?
Oh, that inspired me. So, there's two pieces. One painting, one photograph that really kind of spoke to me and inspired me. And the swing piece here, I think would probably be the piece that I kind of gravitated to the most as far as the photographs go. It triggered a like an actual memory for me of being at a park. And the first time I ever seen a tire swing, I didn't grow up seeing a tire swing. We had the old school, just regular swings, right? You had like the plastic ones that you would put the babies and toddlers in.
Mm-hmm.
I never seen a tire swing, but on TV shows and movies growing up. So like it literally triggered a memory the first time I seen a tire swing at a park. When we had moved to a new neighborhood in like middle school or whatever. So like that one, it made me remember just a very specific time of life that I hadn't really talked about or touched on much.
Okay.
As far in my art, a whole lot. So that got me thinking about other things that I want to do. And then the mixed medium piece in the corner there, the neighborhood market, the deli. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I don't know too many people that didn't have like a neighborhood store that grew up how we grew up, and it made me think about the neighborhood store that we had that I wasn't even allowed to go to by myself. I had to go mom because it was I had to walk through a certain part of the neighborhood that I never I didn't grow up in that specific on that block and up and down. It was a few blocks away, but I never hung out there. I didn't have friends over there. So like my uncle would walk me, I'd have to convince him to walk me up the street, got us by to the store to get, chips and all of that. And it just made me think about that time. But it being a mixed medium piece, I want to tap into my mixed medium pieces again. I've kind of gotten away from in being in that space for a while. I do some, but I don't do it as often. And that inspired me to like want to really kind of tap into that because it's something I've been wanting to do. So that really kind of made me say like, all right, yeah, like I got to do it now.
I love to hear that, man. That's fire. And that's kind of one of the biggest inspirations or the biggest things I would say that probably fuel me or bring me joy from this. Like obviously, once you put it out into the world, and some of these pieces have been seen in like other group shows and things of that. Majority has not, but like the block that was seen in the Black Art Showcase, 2 years ago. Yeah. But like people, hearing those stories, like, and knowing that your intention when you were doing this was to highlight that. And I feel like everybody can relate to, that corner store. And, it's so many different layers to it. I had someone last night at the opening, stop me to kind of have a conversation, with me about it. And they share something with me that I'm like, wow, like I made that piece, several years ago. I don't think that wasn't it like in an angle that I was going with this one little detail there, but just having those conversations, like that's the dopest part to me. So I love that. Let me ask you, when did you know, like exactly what you wanted to do or what what your calling was?
Man, I say it was two different moments. Cause it was the one was the initial moment that I knew that I was supposed to be doing art, and then the moment that I realized that the reason I'm supposed to be doing art. So 2016 is when I first got back into painting, and I just was trying to find my purpose in life, the hamster wheel of work, wake up, go to work, get the kids, go on, wake up, go, like that was just I was so bored and frustrated. I just felt like it gotta be more to life than this. And I called my brother. Didn't even know what art stores to go to. Like I had never been in a Michaels at this point in my life. Like all my art supplies came from school and teachers and professors and stuff. So I never been in an art store at all until I was 26, 27 years old.
Wow.
Other than Pakistans, but Pakistans
I
are
remember
closed
about
right now.
Pakistans.
So when that happened, I went into the store and got a bunch of canvases and just getting ideas out. I sold my first painting, 2 small paintings, for $100 together, and that for me was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I ain't even really figured nothing out yet, and I made $100. Like you would have thought I had $1 million that day, man.
I know the feeling, man. That's why I asked you. I love it. I don't want to take away from that. I want you to keep going, but no, we both understand that feeling. When you're like something that's a passion for me that I enjoy doing, somebody will pay me for that. Like, that's a special feeling.
It was a game changer, man. And after that, I was just creating just to get ideas out and all of that. And then I think when I realized my actual purpose, though, was probably like maybe 4 years ago. I got a chance to talk to some kids about my mental health journey, and I talked about art, and that's when it kind of hit me, because I connected with a couple of the kids, or my story connected with them, and as we talk and I'm helping them through their own personal things just by sitting down talking with them, it was like, this is it. This is what I'm supposed. This is why I do it. Like, I'm not necessarily gonna be $1 million artist by way of selling $1 million painting, right? But the kids that I'll inspire to be entrepreneurs or to chase their own dreams, regardless of what that is, doctor, whatever, but like just pushing them to be better versions of themselves and find their way and find their purpose in life and all that. It's like I created for them, and so seeing my kids want to be creative and entrepreneurs, seeing other kids like say that they didn't do this until they seen me or talking, like those types of conversations are like, this is my purpose. My purpose is to create, to like solely to inspire. That's my job. As long as I'm inspiring people, regardless of how much money I make or don't make, like I'm doing my job and I'm gonna leave this earth okay.
That's amazing, man. Like that is you kind of rolled right into kind of where I wanted to kind of go next when I heard you speak about inspiration, and then you've obviously continued to expound on it, because that's a huge component, for me, for adults and children, being able to inspire people, to show them that, you can do a lot of the things you want to do. Like, we're as people, we are kind of stigmatized that, I'll just speak on this, I've had other artists talk to me like, how did you do it? Like, not even this one in general, not even me being in a museum, like just doing an exhibition on your own, like just how did you go about it? Or even in the aspect of having, an institution, behind you, like asking those questions. And I'm like, it starts with obviously just going out and shooting, if you're a photographer, if you're a painter, like just creating. Like, sometimes you don't wait for you to think, like you don't have to plan an exhibition to have it, but like just telling people, like, you can do it. Like, just me having this in my own studio, this doesn't take away that it's not at a technical, gallery. It's all in your presentation. Like, I've seen, exhibitions in the most unconventional places, and they've been, breathtaking, and they've changed, artists' lives. Like, it's really not and I love that, like thinking unconventional. Like, we see it in so many different other mediums, like from artists, breaking away from right now the streaming norm, and like, I'm going back to what, we would consider old school, and I'm gonna sell it direct to consumer. Like, we watched that with Nipsey, and people thought he was crazy selling $100 mixtape. Like, yeah, you can get it for free, but if you really support me, I'm gonna give you a little bit more with it, and you proud to pay. Yeah. Like, so, those type of things, inspire me, and showing people that, you can have your work in a gallery using IKEA frames. Yes, do they make $800 photo frames that from any angle there won't be a reflection? Yes, they absolutely do. Are those great? For sure. But if you don't have any kind of backing or sponsors, and you're trying to buy, $300 frames to have a show, and if that's your mind frame, like, well, I got to do that, for me to be able to have it, for people to see it, the work is really the work. Like, that doesn't mean hang, crooked pictures. That doesn't mean, paint things that, that you're not putting any effort or thought into. But if the intention is there, like, the work is the work. So I love, like, I said all of that to say, like, that inspiration piece is huge for me. Like, I'm constantly in every aspect I do, from business to creating to art, trying to show people, like, you can do it, help people with any kind of tips that I can give them. Who inspired you? Like, what would be your biggest inspiration? You could take it wherever you want in life as an artist. Like, I would love to hear that.
My biggest inspiration right now really is probably would be my daughter, to be honest. She is a real Renaissance kid. She likes painting. She takes direction well, so the things that she learns in school, and for me, as far as like painting and techniques and all of these different things, she takes it and runs with it in a way that I don't see many kids doing. So seeing her eagerness to learn and be better and be great, like, I feel like we all can like learn from somebody, that whether they a kid or an adult, that's like somebody that's eager to just like be great at something, and to be the best that they can be at what they're doing. Seeing her do something for the first time and become captain of the team and class president and all these different things, like, it's like, what can I do that's my version of that as an adult, as a parent in 2026, right? Like, how can I be the captain of whatever team? What can I create that's like lets people see that like I still learning and trying and all of that? So she's probably my biggest inspiration right now. Her, and then my son, because he's fearless in a way that I honestly don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, money could be low for him, because he's spending it, hanging with
Frivolously,
friends and
yeah,
on snacks and whatever else. But like, he still got a smile on his face every day in a way that's like
a joy.
The joy he has just to like wake up and be able to go to hang with the homies and go to the football field, go to the basketball court, and just being happy to go to work, knowing that like, yo, I'm getting paid, like, it's cool, I'm gonna get a paycheck, like, I'm like, that type of joy is just like, that is those two right there just kind of let me know I'm gonna be all right. Like, whatever I'm dealing with, it's gonna be cool. Like, I just gotta tap into the stuff they tapped into. And
I love that, bro.
Find that for myself.
I definitely love hearing that. Like, sometimes it's all about putting it in that perspective. Like, you gotta look at things basically as like, just putting it in a different perspective, like, and, trying to stay positive. Because like you said, for us, those things, like specifically your son, like, having that joy with, maybe $12 to your name, and, this could be going on, that could be going on. You might not get paid for another 10 days, but he's like, I'll be all right. Like, so that's a special kind of joy. And it's like, as a father, you also know, like, I'm able to still help you along the way. Like,
yeah,
that's fire.
Yeah, and it lets me know that I'm doing this father stuff right. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the other thing about the inspirational part of it for me is like it lets me know that like I'm doing something right. So let me keep going. Let me keep the whatever thoughts I've had about how to parent, how to discipline, all of those different things. It's like I'm doing right by them. So it's like let me keep going. So yeah, it's good, man. It's good.
That's good, bro. I'm gonna ask you, how do you define success, like currently in your life?
So success for me is the honestly this here the conversations we talk about having with people, being inspired by the work or being inspired by what they deem as successful. You know, people can see the things that I'm able to do with art, the things I've been able to do in fashion, the people I've been able to work with, work for, companies I've been able to create paintings for, and things like that. You know, that inspiring people is the success. You know, for me today, like the money don't come, the money don't go. Like you know, I'm gonna make it however I make it. Like I don't stop working. So like we gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But like what makes me feel like I'm actually successful is that inspirational part and people actually being inspired.
Man.
That's it.
Okay. One last question for you. What would your younger self be most proud about you today?
That I got back into the art just in general, cause younger me, that's all I cared about was music, I dance and art. If younger me was gonna be a graffiti artist and dancer, I wanted to be like I wanted to I want to be a choreographer. Like I wanted to choreograph like for, cause I growing up between music videos and award shows and stuff. Like I loved breakdancing and all of that. So when I got into breakdancing and popping, locking, up rocking, and all of that, it was like I want to be a choreographer. I want to do graffiti. Like I want like that shit. I just want to do that. And getting away from it when I graduated high school for so long, I think that younger me will look like, I'm glad you found your way back to all of the creative stuff. So I think that's what my younger self will be most proud of, that I actually like found my way back.
That's amazing, man. It's good to hear. As somebody who's known you for over a decade, I've seen from the very beginning, of the journey, and me even reaching out to you to commission some stuff for my house at the time, man. I want to tell you, I'm proud of you. Keep going. I love to see what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
And, I'm definitely glad to have you, man, for these Streetlight Conversations, bro.
I appreciate you, man, for sure.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for being here.
Yes, sir.